When does the middle find you?
When I'm 17. So then again, it felt like the longest lull. I look back and I'm like, it was 2.5 years, 3 years ish, whatever. That's nothing to not be working. But it felt like that's when I really started to internalize, like, I don't think I can do this. Like, maybe I shouldn't do this. I know I'm good, but like, maybe I can't do this. And I was in high school. I was like in school, and I was actually working is the thing. When I think back, like, I did several episodes, several like guest stars on random shows. I did like a couple of commercials. I was consistently working. And then when I was 17, oh my God, wait, no. I was 16 when I first went out for the middle, and I didn't get it. And then a year later, they redid the whole pilot, and I went out for it again. And I was
Same
like,
character.
same character. I told my manager, I was like, I already did this one. They don't want me for this. They don't like me for this one. I did it. They didn't even get a callback. I was in the room for 30 seconds. They were like, no, thank you.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Not for us. And so I, went on my merry way. And then, yeah, a year later, I was 17. And I had, that's when I was like, I don't think school is doing me good right now. Like, I don't, maybe I should have stayed in school. Because what was that sentence? School is not doing me good.
I'm out.
But I was having, so I actually started at like community college and finished out independent study. And so I really did focus on working more. I was like, let me just focus really on auditioning, but also applying to colleges in case this doesn't really work out. And so I'm 17 and I'll go on this audition for this pilot, and I was just like, I can do this. But I was in the room for like 30 seconds, and they were like, okay, bye-bye. And I was like, I told you they don't like me.
Did you play the character the exact same?
Exact same.
Wow.
Exact same. And they were like, no. And I've also told this story a bunch, but I think I could tell this story all day, every day, because it's insane to me. And the fact that it like changed the course of my life in such a profound way. And I was this close to not getting it, really this close. And they were like, I went in 30 seconds, bye-bye. I'm like, I told you they didn't like me. And then my manager calls me like 2 weeks late. No, this wasn't 2 weeks later. It was like a week later, a long time in industry time. Like it's usually you find out later that day if you have a callback. A week later, he's like, you have a callback. And I was like, are you sure? Okay, great, fantastic. Go in. I wear the same thing every single time because that's what you're just supposed to do. I go in, I play it exactly the same way. I read the same 20 lines, not even. I don't know. I remember there was a part where I sang Dancing Queen or like poorly. I had to sing Dancing Queen poorly. And I was like, I know how to sing poorly. Like I can also, because I like took voice lessons, I can also like sing fake bad. I think I was like, that's one of my skills. I don't have a lot of skills, but I can do that. And so said the same lines. 30 seconds in the room, and they're like, bye-bye. And also, there were more girls there. It wasn't a callback. They brought more girls in, different girls.
Are these the same girls that you're seeing on all the auditions that are fitting for your look?
Kind of, but they're not the same girls. They're different girls that are also fitting for my exact look. But again, this crazy luck thing, I was 17. The other girls were really 12. All of them were like really children. And I found out later from the creators, and I think the casting director, that they actually liked the original Sue, but she just aged out. She didn't look the part anymore. And so when they took me, so the point is that I went in about 5 times. I went in and read before any sort of like actual callback or screen test, studio test, any of that. I just read like a pre-read. You usually do that once for context. Like that happens one time usually, not 5 different times. And maybe it wasn't 5. Maybe it was at least 3. I know it was at least 3 because I was like, I kept calling my manager being like, what is happening? This is not normal. Stop sending me here. They've seen me. They know me at this point. It's like deja vu. It's the same or it's like Groundhog's Day. I go in, I read for 30 seconds, they say bye-bye, and I go to my car. I'm like, I have a million passes, the Warner Brothers gate passes, just like littering the front of my car. I'm like, I have to throw them all out. And I have this ritual where I throw out sides after I do the audition. I used to keep them, like just in case I have a callback. That's those little scripts. Because I don't want to waste, or I like, well, I used to keep them because I didn't want to waste printer paper and ink and stuff. But I realized in order to like fully just like, doesn't matter, I had to like throw it out. I had to print these sides a million times because they just kept bringing me back. And I was like, I threw these out already. And I have to mentally do it every time. So I went in 3 or 4 times. Then finally it was a callback. And then finally it was a screen test, like a network. I don't know which was first, if it was a studio test or network test, but I went in, I tested twice. I never got one singular note. Every single time they had me read one time and they were like, okay, thank you. It's the only time that's ever usually like it's a bad sign if they don't give you a note or something to see. Never. The only note I ever got was my shirt, which was a V-neck, probably like this. But again, I was really 17, and the casting director, I think, really, really wanted this for me. I see it in retrospect now. Like, he was really rooting for me. He was like, hey, when you go in for this screen test, do you have another shirt? And I was like, no, I'm here. I'm in the room. Where's this other shirt that you think I have? Where is this? And he was like, okay, can I see the back of it? And he looked at the back of it, and it was, like this. And he's like, can you turn it around so that it's here, covers up to here?
So you look younger?
So I look young, yeah, so you don't see cleavage, but like any even indication of like boobs happening at all.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, sure. And I remember going in and being like, they can tell that my shirt is back. There's no way they can't tell that my shirt is back.
She doesn't know how to put on her shirt. She's perfect.
I know. But he was onto something because I got it. But yeah, the people, the creators now were like, they were like, we didn't, because I kept saying like, they don't like me. And they're like, we didn't not like you. We just weren't sure what we want. We had this vision in our head. We had a very specific idea. We wanted this other girl, the way she was playing it. And so we just needed to like expand our minds, expand what we had to like clean slate and then see. And then they were like, no, it was definitely you.
Was it expected to be a big show? Was there going to be...
I don't think so. I mean, maybe.
It was just a regular pilot. Let's see if it gets picked up.
Yeah. It was super. It wasn't like, this isn't like, it's a formality. It was definitely like, do they want? I think, actually, that's a question for Eileen and Deanne, because they must have had some idea that it was good because they made it twice. That's a lot of money for a studio to
invest in.
Yeah.
Where in the casting were you? Like, did they already have Patricia and...
Yes. They had Patty, and I think we're doing all the other people at the same time. All the other people they had the little boy. They had the little brother also, because he was in the original pilot.
Atticus?
Yeah.
Oh, so he was in the original... Wow. Did
Yeah.
they have you do screen tests along the others to make sure everybody looks like a family?
Actually, no. No, there was no... I was shocked that there was no chemistry read.
What's the first day of set like when you guys are all together?
I mean, nerve-wracking for me. I was, at that point, I was a nervous 17-year-old. And again, I knew I could do it, but I was 17. I was a real 17-year-old. Like, do you remember being 17? Were you the most secure person in the world at 17?
I was not.
No, shock. I would find me a secure 17-year-old. So I was there with like Patricia Heaton from Everybody Loves Raymond and the janitor from Scrubs, who's Neil is a dear, dear friend of mine now. And then Charlie, who like we were fast friends, became like best friends very quickly. So I wasn't really intimidated by him. But I was like, this is a big deal. I know that this is a big deal being here, and I have no idea if they're gonna recast me, especially because they already recast once. They can do it again if they're gonna do it. Like if they did it once, they could do it again. So I was nervous.
How's the release of the middle? Do they do the pilot and then they do the full season? Or did they already start filming and they were going to give you a time slot and it's coming out?
Fantastic question. I think we shot No, it was not. We did not get picked up, but like we filmed the pilot in April? No, February. Yes. I think
During
February.
pilot season?
During pilot season, yeah. We shot in February and did not have a full season or even half season, not have any sort of pickup until April. And I only know that it was April because that's when everyone started getting their acceptance letters from college. And I was getting not them. I was getting not those acceptance letters. And I was getting like waitlisted. I got waitlisted at my one college that I wanted to go to.
Which was it?
Barnard.
Ooh.
I applied early decision. So I got deferred and then waitlisted.
Did you end up getting in?
No. But a week, I was so upset. And a week later, I found out that the pilot I had filmed got picked up for 13 episodes. The middle. And then 9 years later. So we had a half season, and then at a certain point, we had it while filming those 13. They were like, "We're gonna pick you up for the back 10 or back 9, and
Because
then
they
the
start
extra
feeling
shit.
good about it.
Yeah.
Do they give you marketing budget? Are you guys on billboards and bus benches and
Yes and no. I think they definitely had some idea that we were not going to be as big as Modern Family because we definitely had like billboards and stuff. But it was not as much as the other shows that were also being premiered. I think Cougar Town, what premiered with us? Oh, yes. I'm remembering. It was Hank, this Kelsey Grammer multicam, and then us, then Modern Family, and then Cougar Town.
what time slot were you guys?
8:30. I think that was where we started. Yeah. That's like a good time for us. I think that's a good fit. Eventually we moved to 8, and then we moved to a different night.
When that happens, do you get nervous as an actor?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because it's like, why are they moving us? But in hindsight, I think they were just like, oh, people who watch the middle will keep watching the middle, so we can switch it, and I don't think the ratings are going to dip. And they didn't really. They maybe kind of did. I think naturally. At that point, it was like season 6. Actually, I should really look this up. I don't know. But it was late enough that like there's an expected dip and it's okay.